so good to see you guys again. So happy to have such an enthusiastic group with me. We're on page 94. Make sure you're there. And it's the performance task. These are usually harder than average homework, but I got your back. Let's start. Where's the timer at? Where's the timer? We ain't got no timer.
Got it.
You know what? That's okay. I'll go backwards to this timer. Let's say it's a performance task, 10 minutes. Make sure I don't blah, blah, blah too much, though. All right. We'll still hear it, though, when it goes off. So the first thing you can do for any performance task, and hopefully you're starting to realize this for yourself, is read carefully. That's the first best way to help you get off to a good start. So here we go. Answer the questions and show all your work on a separate paper. Why do they insist on separate paper? Probably because there's not enough space for you to show good work on this book. So separate paper helps you show all the good work that's going on in your head. Here we go. Melanie, that'll be entertaining for her when she sees this later. Melanie is in charge of setting up the chairs for tonight's student jazz concert. What? Yay! Another jazz concert, Mr. Graham? Yes, that's why I put it in there. So
Me and Melanie.
Yeah. Okay. She had, I get it, Jasmine, I get it. Jazz is also a kind of music, you know what jazz is? I know it. She has 96 chairs, that's important, to arrange into rows in one of the 4th grade classrooms. If I'm in your way, remember, it's in your book also. Each row needs to have an equal number of chairs. So 96 chairs, equal number. Find, here's a direction right here. Find at least 6 different ways Melanie could arrange the chairs. Choose one of the arrangements and explain why that arrangement doesn't make sense. So the first thing we need are 6 different ways to make our arrangement. And 96 might not be an easy thing to multiply to. I can only think of a couple, maybe 1 or 2 obvious times tables. The rest you have to really think about. What do you think, Soph? You know any?
Yeah, 6 16, 8 12, 3 32, and then reverse.
So the first thing I heard was 6 and 16.
And then 8 12.
And if you're not sure about this, you can double check. How? Well, just multiply like this.
Yeah.
6 times 6 is 36. Carry the 3. 6 times 1 is 6. Plus the 3. 96. It works out. It checks out. What else did you say, so?
8 12.
8 times 12 works. And you could actually memorize that one if you're good with your 12 times tables. What else?
3 rows of 32.
3 rows of 32?
Or 32.
Can I show you a trick on why I know that makes sense without even checking it? Here's something you might notice one day with multiplication. Huh?
That's you.
Miss you?
Yes.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, so 6 times 16 is 96. We checked that already, right?
Yeah.
Here's something you can do to get more ways to equal 96. You can cut one number in half, but then double the other number. So if you cut 6 in half, what do you get? 3. And if you double the other number,
32.
32. So didn't you say 3 times 32?
Yes.
That one's definitely going to work because that's like a trick with math. If you cut one part of the multiplication sentence in half and double the other, you'll get the same answer. Don't believe me? Check it out. What if instead of cutting 6 in half, I cut 16 in half? What's 16 in half?
8.
What's double 6?
12.
There it is right there. And we already know 8 times 12 is 96. There are more things we can do. What if we cut that 8 in half?
4.
But then we got to double the 12.
24.
12 plus 12 is 24. These all are ways that equal 96. So this is a method you can use to find all different multiplication sentences that equal the same answer. Don't believe me that it always works? Let's try a more simple one. Like 4 times 8. Who knows what 4 times 8 is?
32.
32. Now check this out. I'm going to cut the 4 in half, 2, and I'm going to double the 8. What's 2 times 16 equal? What's 16 plus 16? 32. Oh yeah, I can do it the other way too. Watch. I'm going to cut the 8 in half. What happens if I cut the 8 in half?
4.
4. And I'm going to double the 8 with the 4.
8.
Hey, 4 times 8, 8 times 4? We know that equals 32. So that's a trick that you can use to help you figure out more ways to multiply to a given number. All right, anyway, enough with that trick. We talked about it long enough. So they said to give 6 different ways. We have 4. You know what? Here's an easy one. Go ahead.
96 times 1.
We should have used that one right away, right? So simple. We need one more though. We only have 5 ways. We haven't used 2 yet, have we?
No.
2 must work. The only question is 2 times what? What's 96 in half? 2 times what? Mustan?
18.
No. 2 times 18 won't get us nearly close enough. Destiny? 2 times 48 is correct. Good job. Now we got 6 different ways. So we did that direction. Then what does it say to do? Choose one of the arrangements and explain why that arrangement doesn't make sense. So that's your next step. And I'm not going to do that for you, but I will give you a hint. When you're writing why it doesn't make sense, think about what the rows of chairs would really look like. 96 times 1? What would that look like for rows of chairs? Why doesn't that make sense for a jazz concert? Try to use at least 2 or 3 sentences when you're explaining. Then it says, oh my goodness, so much to do. You could miss parts of this problem if you're not reading carefully. Then choose the arrangement that you think would work best. I get it. So we got to pick a bad one and say why it stinks. Then we got to pick a good one. Draw a picture that shows, better do that. Draw a picture that shows how the chairs should be set up and explain why you chose this plan. So which one makes the most sense? There are some good ones in here. You could pick a couple different ones. But then you got to draw it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. My suggestion, when you draw the chairs, do it kind of like a rectangle. And draw the lines in it and make each little box a chair. Okay? Your mom can have a different way, that's okay. As long as it's correct, I don't mind different ways. And make sure you explain why you chose that one. Why do you think that one's the best way to set up the chairs? And then last but not least, oh my goodness. After you complete the task, choose one. Don't do both of them. Just choose one. It could be this one. Did you have a plan to help you find at least 6 different ways to arrange the chairs? Explain. Yes, we did have a plan. Reason mathematically. Make sure you explain what your plan was. How did you decide which arrangements work well? So how did you pick the good one, in other words? That one might be a little bit easier. So as you can see, you definitely need a separate piece of paper. You got to show 6 different ways. You got to show one bad way and explain why it's bad. You got to pick a good one. You got to draw it. You got to explain why it's good. Then you got to come down here and do a couple more sentences on one of these things. There's no way you can fit all that and do a good job on that one piece of paper. You might try to shove it all in there, but Mr. Graham's going to look at it. He's going to think, did you do each piece correctly? Did you give it a couple sentences? Did you actually explain yourself? If not, you're not going to get tomorrow's prize. And I always give the best homework prizes for performance tests. We're talking snacks or something, man. Good snacks, not little mints.
Don't you write your name down?
Huh?
Don't you write your name down?
Want to write your name down?
Yeah, if you don't bring homework.
Yeah, I mean, obviously. All right. Well, I guess that's all the time we needed for this one. Everybody say bye, class.
Bye.
Just in time for you.